Okay, so we're going to today's video is all about review of quadratics or quadratics review. We will recall all the methods. Yay! So we'll recall all the methods that we use on how to solve quadratic equations. We have factoring, completing the square, quadratic formula, and using also a graphing calculator like Desmos graphing calculator. So there you go. We have solving quadratic equations, how to find factor roots, axis of symmetry, and vertex. I will teach you the manual one and also the shortcut one using a Desmos graphing calculator. So let us have the first example. On the first example, luckily they are already given in a factored form. So we're looking for a factors first. You can just write factors and then the answer, which is x plus 1 and then x minus 5, because they are already written in a factored form. Okay, then after that, we're looking for the roots. In answering a certain problem or a statement, mathematical statement, just make sure that you're following the instructions. So it says, we'll find how to find factors, roots, axis of symmetry, and vertex. So we're looking for the factors, and these are already written in a factored form, so we'll just copy them. After finding or looking for the factors, we will look for the roots. For the roots, these are also the solutions or the value of the x. So we will just type the roots in a x is equal to something form. So we have x is equal to, the first root is -1, because if we will apply the ZP in here, we'll equate the first mathematical statement or the first group, which is x plus 1 is equal to 0. Moving 1 on the other side will write the opposite sign. So from positive, it will become a -1. And then the second roots, we have x is equal to, same, moving -5 on the other side, it will become +5. Don't get confused on the difference between the roots and factors. After finding the roots and the factors, now it says in here, we're going to look for the axis of symmetry. For the long method, we need to write the given first in a standard form to find the axis of symmetry. So let us write it first into the standard form. So we have x plus 1 in here, x plus 1, and then x minus 5 equals 0. Let us equate this first into standard form. We're writing this one into standard form. We have x times x. You may also use the FOIL method, first term, both first term first. So we have x squared. And then after the FOIL method outer term, so we have x times -5. So we have -5x. Then the inner term, 1 times x, we have plus 1x. And then last two terms, both last two terms, we have 1 times -5. FOIL method. First term, outer term, inner term, and last terms. Okay, those are recap on your previous mathematics. So 1 times -5 is -5. We have two linear terms in here in which we can combining like terms by simplifying our equation, standard form. We have now x squared, then -5 plus 1x. So we'll have -4x, 4x, and then we bring down -5. There you go. Very easy and simple. So we have now a standard form by writing the value of your a. Non-numerical coefficient or quadratic term, that means it is 1. For b is -4. And then for the c, it is -5. These are under quadratic review. Okay, so we don't need the c to find the axis of symmetry. Let us have a shortcut one for the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry acronym is AOS. So the formula is -b over 2a. This is a fixed formula for the axis of symmetry. Replacing or substituting the value. So we have -b and then -4 all over 2, then replacing or substituting the a into 1. Then negative times negative, we will have positive 4. And then 2 times 1, we will have 2. Simplifying it, 4 divided 2 will have positive 2. Okay. Then after that, we're going to look, axis of symmetry is also the value of the x. We can also write x is equal to 2. But this is not a root. Okay. Then after that, we're going to look for the vertex. Let me highlight those stuff that we need to answer. So the first one, we are looking for the factors. So that is the factors. Then after that, we're looking for the roots. Then the axis of symmetry. Okay, next step, we're going to look for the vertex. For the vertex, we must supposed to have the value of the x and the y. Okay. For the value of the x and the y, we're looking for the vertex. We have vertex in here. Vertex. Again, in looking for the vertex, your answer was supposed to be written in an ordered pair, which is the x and the y. So since we have already an x in here, so we'll just write a 2 in here. So we're looking for the y values. To find the y values, we will substitute. We can use this standard form of the equation, this equation, as the standard form to find the value of the y. And don't worry, I will teach you also the shortcut one. Okay, so writing this one, the standard form, we will substitute all the x in here into the value of itself, which is 2. Okay, so instead of x squared, we will have 2 squared. 2 squared. And then minus 4. We'll replace again the x by 2 minus 5. Then we'll simplify it. We have now y is equal to 2 squared is 4. 2 times 2. Then negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. And then minus 5. Simplify it. 4 minus 8 is negative 4 minus 5. We will have negative 9. There you go. So this will be now the vertex. So we have now the vertex. So we already find and identify the 4, what is unknown, the factors, roots, axis of symmetry, and the vertex. Okay, so the axis of symmetry is 2. The roots are negative 1 and positive 5. The factors are x plus 5 and then x minus 5. So that's it. And now I will going to teach you the shortcut one using a Desmos graphing calculator. Of course, we need to open the Desmos graphing calculator to help us to graph the given. Let us minimize this one. Okay, so the first step in here using a Desmos graphing calculator, there is a keypad in here. It's up to you if you want to show the keypad or not. But I'm frequently showing it to use the square or the square in here, because we have exponents sometimes on the given quadratics. But on the given in here, it is given in a parenthesis. So we'll not use a square. So first we'll just type it, x plus 1, and then times the quantity of x minus 5. And then the Desmos graphing calculator, we're going to graph it for you. Let us zoom it in. Then we'll just snip the figure or the graph, okay, so that I can show it to you. So let us have new in here. Oh, hold on. Before we'll snip it, okay, let us highlight first the point. Click the point. Let us highlight first the point. Click the point that touched by your graph on the x-axis and also your vertex. The vertex, take note, is the maximum or the minimum point or the peak point of your parabola. So this is the graph. Let us highlight what is asked on the problem. Okay, so what is this graph will going to help us also to confirm our answer. So the factors are right. So we have x plus 5, then x minus 5. Okay, and then the roots are the point that touched by our graph on the x-axis. We have negative 5 and 5. Yippee! So we got them right. So let us highlight them also. Let us highlight our roots. Aside from that, we can also find the axis of symmetry using a Desmos graphing calculator. Let me teach you how. I can use this one. So the axis of symmetry is the vertical line, is a vertical line that bisect or divide your parabola into two equal parts. So this is how we bisect it. There you go. So the axis of symmetry pass through the x-axis at positive 2. So therefore, we got it also right that the axis of symmetry is positive 2. That is how we get the axis of symmetry given a graph. Hope you've learned on that. So there you go. The next step, we're going to find the vertex. So the vertex is the peak point of your parabola at point 2, -9. So we got the vertex also right. Let me highlight it. So that is the vertex, okay? So we got the factors, the roots, axis of symmetry, and the vertex. So manually and also using a Desmos graphing calculator. So let us have again the next example. This will be the last example. Then after that, you will have your practice one. So in here, given a not that standard form because we have two constant in here. So the first step in here, we'll check your given if it is written in standard form. If not, we're going to simplify it. So let us simplify it. It will become now x squared minus 11x plus 19. You must equate it into 0, okay? So we'll move this -5 on the other side of the equation. And then from -5, because we move it, it crossed the equal sign, it will become now a +5 equals 0. There you go. Then we'll simplify it. We'll have x squared minus 11x plus 19. 19 plus 5 will simplify it because they are both constant. We can combine them by the rule of combining like terms, constant and constant. So 19 plus 25 will have 24 equals 0. Okay. Then, so first up, we're going to look for a factors. So factors, what are the factor of 24? That when we add them, we can get -11. Give me a factors of 24. Okay, because we are applying the factoring method. So we have 8 times 3 is 24. But 8 plus 3 is not -11. It is +11. So those are incorrect. We can use -2 numbers. -8 times -3 is -8 times -3 is +24, and then -8 plus -3 will have -11. So it satisfies both the constant and the linear term. So that means those are the perfect factors. Yay! Okay, so now we can use those two. We'll distribute the x squared. We'll have two groups. That is how we factor, yes. Then -8, the first factor, and then -3. So those are the two factors. That is how we factor, equals 0. So therefore, those are the factors. Let us write down. Factors, we have in factored form, take note, in factored form, they are written in a parenthesis in a group. So we have x minus 8, x minus 8. And then we have also times the quantity of x minus 3. Okay, that's it. Those are the factors. Next, we're going to look for the zeros, okay, or the roots. Roots and zeros are just the same. So the roots, the opposite one. So in roots, we'll write the answer into x is equal to, from -8, it will become +8 since we're moving it crossing the equal sign. And the another roots is x is equal to +3. Both are positive because on the factors, they are negative. Don't get confused on that, okay? Then we're going to look for the axis of symmetry. Very easy because it is already written in the standard form. So to find the axis of symmetry or the AOS, that is also the x value. Okay, so the axis of symmetry, we have y is equal to x squared minus 11x plus 24 plus 24. There you go. And then how can we get the axis of symmetry? The formula is, for the axis of symmetry, it's negative b over 2a. Don't forget that, negative b over 2a. We're going to find the a and b. The a is 1 and the b is negative 11. So let us write this one in here. A is equal to 1. Since we do not have numerical coefficient on your quadratic term, therefore phantom 1, that means it is 1. And then the b is negative 11. Let us simplify it now by substituting all the values. Negative, don't forget the negative. So we have 2 negative over 2 times 1. 2 times 1. Your a is 1. So negative times negative 11, it's positive 11. 2 times 1 is 2. Then how many 2's we can get by 11? 5. So right. So we have 5 and a half, or simply 5.5. So that is the axis of symmetry. Then to find the vertex, we'll have the vertex in here, vertex. We'll substitute the value of the x, the 5.5, on the equation to find the y. So the vertex is written in an ordered pair, which is x and y. We already have the value of the x, which is 5.5. Now we're going to look for the y. So y is equal to, we'll replace all x in here by 5.5. So we have 5.5 square minus 11 times 5.5, then plus 24, plus 24. Okay, let me just continue the discussion in here. Okay, y is equal to, so 5.5 square, you may use the Desmos graphing calculator in here also. So it is, what is 5.5 square? So 5.5, then click square in here, you will see the answer in here. It is 30.25. So just write 30.25, 30.25. And then we have 11 times 5.5. Cross this one, 11 times 5.5. We have 60.5, so we can write 60.5 in here. Minus, because 11 is negative, 60.5 or 60.50. And then plus 24. So that's it. So the value of the y now is equal to, let us simplify it. Again, we will use Desmos graphing calculator. So we have 30.25 minus 60.5. 60.5 plus 24. So we have negative 6.25. So the vertex now is 5.5 and negative 6.25. So let us double check our answer using a Desmos graphing calculator. Okay, finalize our answer. So as I mentioned, I'm teaching you in a two different way. Manually, if during the major exam you are not allowed to use Desmos graphing calculator, and also in an easiest way, if they will allow you to use any graphing calculator like TI-84, TI-83, or any graphing calculator like Desmos graphing calculator, this will help you a lot, and I mean, you just need a few time for you to find or answer the quadratic equation. Okay, so let us type the equation. So we have x squared in here minus 11x plus 19 equals negative 5. So this is a different one. So that's why you must simplify it already. So we can type this one plus 24. Plus 24. Okay, so you type your function on the Desmos on the standard form. So if it is not yet written in standard form, simplify it first. Let us first click the points that touch the x-axis and also the peak point, which is the vertex. Then we're going to double check our answer if we got it right or wrong. So this is the graph. Hope that you can see it clearly. So we'll just double check our answer by highlighting them. Factors, we got the factors right. So we'll just highlight the factors in here. Then the roots, we have positive 3 and positive 8. Yay, we got it also right. The axis of symmetry. Okay, let me just highlight the axis of symmetry also. So the axis of symmetry is we'll throw a vertical line that bisect the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry will draw a vertical line that bisect the parabola into two symmetrical figure in which it passed through 5.5 on the x-axis, or this one. So we got it right also. Let me highlight this one. So we got for the axis of symmetry, right? And then the vertex is very simple. The vertex is the peak point of the parabola that is written in an ordered pair, which is 5.5 and negative 6.25, which we also got it right. So here's the vertex. So there you go. Those are the ways on how to find factors, roots, axis of symmetry, and vertex in quadratic equation or trinomials. Hope you've learned a lot, but take note first, as I believe there's no retention in learning without application. So please practice what you have learned. You may use the Desmos graphing calculator or the long method manually to find the factors, roots, axis of symmetry, and the vertex. So that's it. That's all for this video. Hope you've learned a lot. Enjoy while learning. See you next video. Bye.